What up, Space Fam? Goes in here for AnimeUproar, and I'm back at it again to talk about the latest, craziest developments in the Demon Slayer story. This chapter was crazy good, and just as predicted, the mangaka had plenty more tricks up her sleeves. The twists and turns keep coming every chapter, and I love it. If you enjoy these weekly chapter reviews and want to keep them coming, make sure to smash that like button to let me know, and share this video with a friend. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell or you will miss future Demon Slayer videos. Remember that you can catch all of these reviews before they even come out on YouTube by following AnimeUproar Audio on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the links in the description. I want to also give a huge thank you to our glorious patrons over on Patreon who help us survive YouTube issues and who make videos like this one possible. More about our glorious AnimeUproar patrons at the end of this video. For now, you should know that there will be manga spoilers. We are talking about the latest chapter, chapter 193 after all. You've been warned. Now without further ado, let's jump into it. On the cover of this weekly Shonen Jump issue are Tanjiro and Nezuko. Demon Slayer deserves to be the focus of this week because of this epic battle for sure. I even hoped that Nezuko being on the cover was a hint that she'll show up in this chapter, but alas, she did not yet. Nevertheless, this cover is a reminder that she is coming and that we'll probably see her sooner rather than later. We start the chapter with Muzan, who's getting all philosophical. It's very interesting actually. We're getting access to his thoughts and worries as if he was a main character rather than the monster of the series. It is clear that the mangaka wants to humanize everyone as much as possible in this series, even the main monstrous antagonist, who's still suffering from PTSD because of his encounter with Yoriichi. Anyways, Muzan's thinking about living creatures and how on the threshold of death, they become much stronger than before. Muzan knows that. Some people can open the door to a new sense or power that they didn't need in an ordinary life. They rise to the occasion, and those who can't open that door die. We've probably all heard of those stories where mothers suddenly get strong enough to lift a car in order to rescue their babies. When pushed into a desperate corner, humans can do things that wouldn't ordinarily be possible. Tanjiro is one of those people that can open the door. Rather than folding when times get tough, like the fire pillar that was mentioned in the last chapter, Tanjiro fights and is able to unlock new powers and access more energy than you'd expect. On a side note, it's nice that we got some colored pages for this chapter. Colored pages always enhance the already existing hype. The words final battle are included, seemingly confirming that this is the final battle against Muzan, and that unlike some fans speculated, Muzan will not run away. It seems pretty clear that he will be defeated without escaping sooner rather than later. For now, Muzan goes on to think about how Tanjiro can now turn his blade red without relying on his sister's power, and how even the pillars can turn their blades red. They can all open the door that he's been talking about, but they still can't keep up with him in his view, and that includes Tanjiro. He says that after some time, Tanjiro will not be able to keep up with his moves. We even get an interesting comparison here between Tanjiro and Yoriichi. Remember that Muzan has fought them both, and he tells us that compared to Yoriichi, Tanjiro's strikes are not even close to the same level. To an extent we knew this, but Muzan makes it clear that Tanjiro is not nearly as powerful right now as Yoriichi was. So how can he hope to win? Well, as I mentioned last time, it will probably be a team effort since Demon Slayer tends to be all about team efforts. Despite how sure of himself Muzan feels, Tanjiro keeps fighting. He keeps using the Dance of the Fire God forms, and we even see what appears to be the shape of a fiery dragon. This is pretty hype since it reminds me of when Zenitsu used his Lightning Dragon move. That's a really exciting parallel for me, and I'd love to see them use some combined dragon moves at some point. For now, Tanjiro is halfway through the 12 forms. He's struggling. He's stuck attacking and it's not comfortable. He has to maintain a ridiculously fast speed that is pushing his lungs, limbs, and heart past their limits. He's feeling like this already, and then we are told that there's 1 hour left until sunrise. If he actually kept thinking about how much time is left, he'd be too worried and he wouldn't be able to concentrate. That's why he tells himself to not think of anything beyond this 1 second. It's similar no matter what you do. I ran a half marathon for the first time last year, and thinking about the 21 kilometers ahead of you is not gonna help you last until the end. You have to just focus on the next step, and eventually, if you keep doing that, you'll finish. Do the best you can in this moment and trust that the rest will take care of itself. Tanjiro is doing exactly this. It doesn't look good since his sword, hands, and feet are slowing down, but still, He decides that he'll focus on 1 second at a time and repeat that for every second until sunrise. Lao Tzu once said, "If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present." Tanjiro's only hope of winning is to stay focused on the present. If he loses his sense of peace, aka his cool, he'll make a mistake and Muzan will finish him off. If we humans just focus on the present, take things one step at a time, and don't get too ahead of ourselves, we can even achieve seemingly impossible feats. We jump to Muzan, who notices that Tanjiro's technique is deteriorating, and he believes that his blade will revert from red to black soon. Then we get a nice meta moment where Muzan thinks that there's no way you could make it that easy. He means it's not easy for someone to perfectly imitate Yorichi's forms and skills, but we can also read it as referring to the mangaka. At the end of the last chapter, things seemed pretty straightforward. Tanjiro saw Yorichi perform the forms and he corrected his own flaws, and it seemed like he was gonna perform the forms flawlessly until sunrise without getting tired, and the big bad Muzan would be defeated. However, there was no way the mangaka could make it that easy. We need some complications. The young Tanjiro can't just suddenly become the most powerful demon slayer in history by seeing some memories. Suddenly, it starts to seem like Muzan has the upper hand. Tanjiro coughs up some blood, but he manages to avoid a deadly tentacle. Muzan is shocked by this. Even though Tanjiro is slow as ever and his movements have no precision, and he's a human who should be hindered by fatigue the harder he moves, Muzan can't hit him. He wonders why he can't kill one exhausted, worn out human. Then Muzan realizes what's happening, and this is quite the twist. Muzan's been slowing down too. That's why he can't deliver a finishing blow on Tanjiro, and it appears that Tamayo, the demon Yorichi saved, is the reason that Muzan keeps slowing down. He goes inside himself and tries to question Tamayo, but of course she's not gonna cooperate. She tells him that she's not telling him anything. She reminds me of Shinobu here. Those two make a great team. Muzan decides to just read the memories of her cells. He sees Shinobu in the memories and she talks about the drug that returns a demon to being human. However, if it doesn't work, another poison will take effect. It's an aging drug that could age Muzan 50 years a minute once it gets broken down. Muzan finally realizes that he's been aging. He's been losing strength while his body is trying to halt the aging process. That accounts for the struggle he had with the pillars and the others. I'm extremely glad we got this part. I don't know about you, but I've been wondering how Muzan was struggling to quickly kill demon slayers before they even turned their blades red. And now it finally makes sense. He was struggling because of the aging, so he's not as strong now as he was against Yorichi, and that's primarily thanks to Tamayo and Shinobu. I love the fact that Shinobu had something to do with this. She was an awesome character, and it sucked to see her die. But it's amazing to know that she played an important part in creating a drug that is helping to defeat the Demon King of Pop right now. This isn't a case of the protagonist getting ridiculously strong out of nowhere and defeating a ridiculously OP villain by themselves. This is a case of so many different people's efforts that are coming together and giving Tanjiro a fighting chance, even though he's nowhere close to Yorichi's level. It's really great stuff and great writing on the mangaka's part. Muzan does some quick demon math, and he figures out that his age is, get this, over 9,000. I'd like to believe that that number was intentional, and I love it. Very cool, Gotoge-san. Very cool. Then Muzan mentioned something that actually crossed my mind too. He said he should have figured out what was going on sooner because the color wasn't returning to his hair. It stayed white. I had just assumed that this was his true aka final form, but I guess the white hair is a sign that his vitality hasn't returned. It's also interesting that aging affects demons. I assumed that demons wouldn't really be affected by aging and they could just live forever and stay young, but it seems like even they can be affected by aging and they can get slowed down, especially when we're talking thousands of years. We see a crow proclaim that there is 59 minutes before dawn, so we're making progress here. For the first time, there's less than an hour left. But I'm not gonna lie though, 59 minutes still seems like a long way off. Those 59 minutes could be spread out in many more chapters. We get some more shots of Tanjiro dancing and at the same time fighting effectively against Muzan. Muzan is clearly frustrated as he hits a mirage, while the real Tanjiro continues to dodge and land some seriously good slashes, including slashes that temporarily take off Muzan's arm. He continues to put pressure on Muzan until he's unleashed all 12 forms. They all connected and Tanjiro is determined to use the forms faster and more accurately. He's ready to repeat the 12 forms until the sun rises. He's determined, like last time, to win, and like last time, he appears to have the upper hand at the end of the chapter. In one translation at the end of the chapter, it's written, "Let it burn your heart," a clear nod to Rengoku. Loving the recurring references to Rengoku, Yoriichi, and Tamayo, this chapter even included Shinobu, which was a real treat. She's definitely an underrated character in my view. Her amazing poisons and her skill for strategizing should not be overlooked. This chapter was a bit of a roller coaster. We got to a point where it seemed like Tanjiro was in trouble for a second, but he turned out to be fine. Tanjiro dodged Muzan's lethal blows, and he feels like he can now keep going until dawn. Right when things did seem hopeless for Tanjiro, that's when we figured out why Muzan hasn't been wrecking everyone this whole time. It's because he's been aging rapidly because of the poison he absorbed from Tamayo. Thus, he was struggling with the pillars even before their swords turned red because of the poison, and Tanjiro is able to keep from being hit, not because he's anywhere close to Yoriichi's level, but because Muzan keeps getting weaker and weaker. It seems more and more of his energy needs to go to battling the aging process, so that his movement speed and possibly strength and regeneration speed are going down. I still think that Tanjiro is the strongest living Demon Slayer right now, but the mangaka is making it clear that one of the reasons he's doing so good against Muzan is because Muzan is getting weaker and slower as time goes on. It's definitely an interesting approach that the mangaka is taking here. Sometimes in shonen you have villains defeated when they are at their strongest by one character who got a massive upgrade. For example, think about the fight against Super Saiyan Goku, who went out of his way to let Frieza achieve his full power so that Goku could fight and beat Frieza at his best. This is often not the way that the Demon Slayer mangaka does things. We never got to see Upper Moon 2 Doma's full power because he was poisoned by Shinobu. We never got to see Upper Moon 3 Akaza's full power after his head regenerated because he self-destructed when he regained his memories. So it's clear that unlike some other mangaka, Gotoge-san is totally cool with defeating villains when they're not at their strongest. Thus, the fact that Muzan has been weakened by Tamayo and Shinobu isn't weird. It isn't weird for Demon Slayer that we don't get to see one character get so OP that he defeats the OP demon opponent at his best. Demon Slayer has always been about teamwork. Teamwork and helping each other evens the odds and lets humans make up for their weaknesses against the usually much more powerful OP demons. Even Yoriichi, the strongest human and character in the entire series, couldn't kill the Demon King of Pop on his own. Thus, it makes sense that it took a lot of help from others for Tanjiro to get this far. And it's gonna take more help from others, including from Nezuko I bet, for him to finish off Muzan once and for all. In the end, Muzan will lose, and that will no doubt be the result of a team effort. In my view, it seems pretty clear that that is the way this fight is going to end. I appreciate this formula that Gotoge-san uses. It never feels cheap to me or unbelievable. It's like that one Newton quote, "If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants." Tanjiro will only get further than others in defeating Muzan because he stood on the shoulders of, aka got help from, others, like Yoriichi, Rengoku, Tamayo, and many others. Let me know what you think is going to happen next. It's unlikely that Tanjiro will just keep wrecking a helpless Muzan, since we know that Gotoge-san likes emotional roller coasters. We're probably going to see many more reverse Uno cards played before this is over. Perhaps Muzan's body will even get over the poison somehow. I'm guessing that he will somehow turn the tables on Tanjiro before Nezuko shows up to help. I just hope that he doesn't become stronger by absorbing Nezuko. That might make for an intense and interesting story, but I can't see us losing Nezuko. The fans, including me, love her too much for that to happen. But anyways, that's it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and share this video with a friend. That really helps the channel, and in doing so, helps me to keep producing more videos like this one. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial. Hit that notification bell or else you will miss future Demon Slayer chapter reviews. Remember that you can catch all of these reviews before they even come out on YouTube by following AnimeUproar Audio on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the links in the description. A special thank you goes to our patrons over on Patreon who help us survive YouTube issues and who help make videos like this one possible. First and foremost, I want to thank our the 1-tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans: Steven Ingrata, Alola Natem, The World, Steelers, The School Bus, and Tyson Quarino. And I can't forget our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Fididala Beat, Anatoly Kazatsky, Alpha Dio, Angel Cruz, Team Sparky 65, Cricket XP, Rohan Kapoor, Jessica Maloney, Emperor Otaku, Timothy Edward Vargas, Gene Dark, Joe Stanton, and JCC Waka. Thank you all so much. If you enjoy our work, you can support more of it by going over to patreon.com/AnimeUproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these amazing people right here, and you'll even get access to our private patron-only Discord, where we talk about anime, life, and of course, dank memes. So check out patreon.com/AnimeUproar, link in the description if you're interested. You can also now join the YouTube channel and support more content that way if you prefer. Whichever way you choose to support us, you will get the same great benefits. Thanks for everything, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboy.